Good evening and welcome to No Apologies on Beck. I am your host, Lori Hins. With me, Matthew Simon from Bismarck. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Lori.
Glad to have him back here to help out.
I was just thrilled for the opportunity to go through hair and makeup again.
Right. Cracks me up. Okay, so tonight we have a very interesting show for you, a couple of guests for you. We've got one guest from North Dakota and then one guest from far, far away on the other side of the United States, and I will tell you about her in a little bit. But first, we're going to start this evening by talking via Zoom, but also just via audio. And this is Jason Heitkamp. Jason Heitkamp is joining us today. District 25 House candidate Jason Heitkamp. Just to talk a little bit about what is going on in District 25. Jason, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. I am coming to you live from a truck that I'm driving down the road, but I have parked by the side of the road, and it is all safe, just so you know.
All right, safety first. So what part of the state are you from, Jason?
I'm from the southeast corner of the state where the sun shines first in North Dakota at Fairmont, North Dakota.
Got it.
Yeah, District 25, it is all of Richland County and partially the Lake Tawakon Refuge.
Oh, interesting. Now, were you previously in District 25, or is this a redistricting issue?
This is a redistricting issue. Sebastian, Airtel, Kathy Straw, and I were in the 26th district. They dissolved that and moved that out to McKenzie County. And they put me and Kathy in the 25th district and Sebastian into the 28th district.
Interesting. So because of that, now you were in the last session, you were in the Senate, correct?
That is correct. I served with Larry Lewick, who is the senator in the 25th district, who did an awesome job in the last session. And
excellent.
Because of that, I decided that I would run for the House seat instead of the Senate seat, because Larry's a good person and we need to have good people in the legislature.
Well, that is all true. So you decided you were going to run, and you had a district meeting recently on last Saturday, the 19th. Is that correct?
That's correct. We were out at the Bag Farm Historical Center. It's actually a federal historical site. It's an old bonanza farm by Morton, North Dakota.
Very cool. So you had your district meeting, and tell me exactly what happened at that meeting, because I've heard that there has been some issue with District 25's meeting.
Well, and like I said, I think we have good people in the state that want to do good things. I think that it was a worst case scenario because Cindy Schreiber-Beck, who was one of the candidates, actually came down with COVID-19 on Sunday morning. And so, like I said, all of a sudden you're in a disarray. All right. So I knew something weird was going to happen, but I didn't know what it was going to be, because we're coming into a new place. And I'm telling you what, they normally got like 20 to 30 people to come to a district meeting like that. Right. I counted 160 and another person counted 170 people in the audience. Now that's not all voting people. Right. Some brought their kids because it was Saturday, But sure. In the end, there was 117 ballots given out. There was 114 ballots that they used. Okay. Kathy Straw won. I believe she had 62 votes. Cindy. Now there
were three. Let me stop you. There were three of you running for 2 open house seats, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
And there is only one Republican serving in the House right now in the 25th district. That's Cindy Schreiber-Beck, because Elisa Mitzgog is the Democrat that serves. But anyway, there's 117 ballots given out, 114 used. Cindy ended up getting 57 ballots, which is not a majority plus one. That's right. What you need.
It's just half. It's 50%, but not 50% plus one.
Correct. And then I had 55 votes. Now, me and Kathy, we did not use any proxies. All right. The 25th
Why would you use proxies in the rules? Aren't the rules that you can't use proxies in districts?
The NDGOP says that you cannot use proxies in a district convention.
Right.
So the 25th district actually has it in their bylaws that you can use them. Are you saying that they are the only one in the whole state, even though the rules for all the rest of them say that you can't use proxies for district meetings, but they have it in their bylaws, so are they the only one that has that? That's what I was told. And I said, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, but that's what I was told. And in the past, the only time that the proxy vote has been used was back in April of 2021 when Cindy Beck was running for treasurer. And that was the only time that proxies have been used in the 25th district. And
so explain to me, Jason, how is it that you can use them sometimes and then not use them other times? What's that all about?
I don't know. I don't want to sound bad, but we're like the orphans because according to that law that was passed in the legislature, we weren't even around when they did reorganization, okay? And because they had less than 25%, there wasn't a need for a new reorganization. And so we were just kind of thrown into the 25th district. And so we just came there that day. We had a couple meetings ahead of time. We had talked about the proxies, and it was under my understanding that they weren't going to use proxies. And I believe it was the understanding of the other candidates also. But
so wait a minute. So you were told in advance that we probably are not going to use the proxies this time. So you probably didn't have any of those supporters who were going to use proxies because you were told that in advance.
And like I said, I'm not trying to not answer the question. It was my understanding. Now, if I heard it wrong and the other candidates heard it wrong, then we just heard it wrong. But I was under the understanding that we were not going to use proxy votes. And so we didn't bring any. And then when we got there, they said that they were going to use proxy votes. And usually a proxy is like, say I can't attend a meeting, so I send my uncle and then they vote for me.
Well, the way I understand proxies is it's 1-to-1. You proxy for one person, you have somebody else proxy for another person. That's generally, is that how it works with you, Matthew, too?
Yeah, that's by definition what a proxy is.
Right. Yeah. So explain to me what happened with the proxies in District 25.
Well, I was in line and I was talking to a guy that I know that lives in the northern part of the district. And he was very nice and cordial to me. We were having a nice talk. And when he got up to get his ballot, he said to him, I get 11 ballots. And and then she actually looked at him and said, no, I think you actually get 12. And then he said, no, I only need 11 votes. Okay. And then there was another person that, I said, I'm not going to name people. I can't. But this person used to be the head of the North Dakota GOP. And I heard that he voted 6 times. And there was another person that voted 4 times, from what I understand.
Wait. So we've got 6, 4, and 11. You've got 21 votes that came by proxy with only 3 people.
But we don't know who they voted for. Okay, because I have not looked at the information to see who they voted for. So I know that they voted by proxy and put them in the ballot box, and this was during the House race. Okay, so if they voted for me, thank you. But I don't think they did because they wouldn't. I didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
So anyway, so after that, my daughter and another person, well, I think there was actually 4 people that were at the ballot box helping count. But 2 of the observers, one of them was my daughter, said, that there wasn't a majority for Cindy. And so they brought that up. Now, I know that another person walked away and had a meeting, and later they invited us to the front of the room, me and Kathy Straw, because Cindy wasn't there. And they said, we just want to show you the vote totals before we hand them out, And so I thought, well, that's kind of weird because, I can take it. I'm a man, and and so, he showed me the totals and I didn't understand what he was trying to get out of it. I don't know what to say. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I guess I didn't get enough votes. Okay.
Jason, the real problem here is that nobody got enough votes because nobody had a clear majority, and that is what is in your bylaws. I'd like to show a couple of graphics here really quick. We only have 30 seconds left, but this is what you have written, and we've got some highlighted things here too. This is what you wrote to them to just explain what the situation was. And then on the next one, we have the actual bylaws. Do you want to read the little germane section on this one, Matthew? You can leave it up, please.
So in the District 25 bylaws in Article 11, it states here that a majority of votes cast shall be required to elect, and under Section 2, which is what you were speaking to, Jason, and what was in the previous graphic as one of the complaints that was addressed to the chair, You had also mentioned at the beginning, Jason, that it sounds like this was an open convention where all paid members were capable of casting votes. Was that accurate?
That is accurate. And that was in an email also that we were going to use an open convention.
Okay, the reason I ask is because in Article 10 of your bylaws, it says that you can either do a closed model, which is the district committee are the only ones casting votes, or an open model. And under the open model, it specifically says that all members of the district in attendance shall be entitled to vote for and/or endorse candidates to the legislature. So although you do have a stipulation for proxies in your bylaws, I would think that that would be trumped by the open district model comment there that they have to be in attendance.
I think that you are absolutely correct. And I spent 3 full days on the phone talking to everybody in the state. I only have like 100,000 people to go. Yeah, you know, and so that's all I can tell you. Trying to find somebody to help me with this problem.
Well, Jason, thanks for at least bringing this to our attention, and now we can, you know, see it in the light of day and see what's going on. And I think we're going to just be watching to see what happens and how this is resolved in your district. I really appreciate you taking the time out and of talking to us today. Thank you so much.